Hello and welcome to the first video in the JavaScript series. Um, Before we start, just a quick check to make sure that you have the necessary software. We'll only need one thing, Visual Studio Code. You can actually download it from this website over here, code.visualstudio.com. Now, must you have this? No, not at all. I mean, if you're more familiar with a code with a text editor, go ahead and use whatever you're used to. Okay, there are so many in the market. I'm going to be using this particular one for the whole series. So, if you'd like to follow along, please by all means go ahead. Anyway, once you've downloaded the Visual Studio Code, you'll get this. This is essentially what we have. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and created a folder called JavaScript, and we'll go ahead and start off today with a few general rules. So I'm going to start a new file in JavaScript, and I'm just going to call this basics.html. Okay. Now in basics.html, I'm just going to real quick just put up a HTML document right there. Now JavaScript is the scripting language of web pages. It is the very basis for a lot of script that you will or you might want to learn later on, such as React or Angular or jQuery, just to name a few. Okay, so what is JavaScript and how can you use it? Well, JavaScript can be used anywhere inside a HTML document. I mean, you can put it inside the head, you can put it inside the body. All you need to do is surround it with a script tag, just like so. Now, if you open the script tag, make sure to close it, because bad things can happen if you do not close a script tag. Okay, so whatever you put inside these whatever you put in between these script tags is essentially JavaScript. Now, rule number one of JavaScript is that JavaScript is case sensitive. Okay, so you cannot, if I type in alert, for example, this is not the same as me typing in alert with a uppercase A, or even this. All three are different. In JavaScript, everything is case sensitive. I don't know what I just typed in right there. And of course, every statement in JavaScript ends with a semicolon. Now you don't have to worry about this just yet. I'll explain what this is in just a moment. But essentially, I'm going to show you a sample JavaScript statement over here. And so I'm just going to say alert, and then in brackets, don't forget the brackets, and within the brackets put quotation marks, say hello world. As per normal, it is a tradition amongst programmers when you're learning a new language, the first program you write is the hello world program. So tradition has been preserved. Now if I were to save this, and let's go ahead and run it. Oh, but before we do, I just want to show you something. I'm going to put a H1 over here, and I'm just going to say this is a header. Now here's the thing I want you to notice. I've put the script up here in the head, but the H1 is inside the body. Now you're going to see in just a moment, JavaScript actually runs linearly. That means it runs wherever you put it. I'm going to save this. I'm going to run it. Where's my JavaScript file? There you go. There's my JavaScript file right there. And if I'm going to open it right there, and there you go. That's an alert page right there. It says hello world. Notice the H1 has not come out. Only when I dismiss this does the H1 come up. Okay, so this is just the first example. Now I'm just going to take the same script. I'm just going to take that whole script, cut it, Control X, and paste it right here below the H1. Control V. Okay, so I'm going to save that, and this time watch this. This time notice the H1 is rendered first, then the script runs. So I'm going to refresh this page. Watch this. Ta-da! Notice the H1 is already showing, and the page comes out after. Okay, sorry, that was a slight glitch on my part right there. So you've just learned that JavaScript is the scripting language for web pages, and rule number 1 is JavaScript is case sensitive. Rule number 2, JavaScript is linear. That means it runs wherever you put it. Now, the next thing you may need to know about JavaScript is sometimes you'll need to do a lot of comments to yourself, especially if you're writing long scripts. If you're writing long scripts, you'll need to put comments to yourself just so you don't forget things, or you may want to comment out certain portions of your code. Here's how you do a comment in JavaScript. To do it just a single line comment, you just say // twice, and this is a comment, which means it will not be processed by the browser. Okay, and another way to make a comment, if you want to comment multiple lines at the same time, you just say /*, and then you close it by saying // and this too is a comment. Okay, however, if you're using Visual Studio Code, and also there are quite a few editors out there that have the same feature, you can actually comment multiple lines at the same time. Let's say this is a line I'd like to comment, this one too, and this as well. Okay, so let's say these 3 lines, obviously this is not JavaScript, so if I were to run it, I'll get an error on my web browser. So I mean, if you want to see the error, let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to refresh this page. Watch this. If an error occurs on your page, you can actually find out where the error is simply by going right-clicking anywhere in the page and selecting Inspect. I'm using Google Chrome, by the way, so you can actually use the Chrome in Chrome. You can use Inspect, and I'll get a whole bunch of, see that right there, over there where it says there's a red X and there's one error, and it says there it's an uncaught identifier. It doesn't know what the heck that is. It's in basics.html line 14. So we go back over here, starting on line 14, it does not know what this is. So it's saying, I have no clue what you're talking about. So anyway, back to what I was saying before. If you want to essentially comment any line out, let's say I want to comment these 3 lines out, I simply highlight it, and in Visual Studio Code, if you were to press Control K C, C as in comment, so KC, so that will comment the lines. Now if you want to uncomment them, you basically have to hit Control KU, and it'll uncomment those lines. Pretty nifty, huh? Okay, so one more time, I'm going to comment them out. Control KC, and we'll just leave it at that. So you now know how to write general JavaScript, you know how to insert JavaScript into a page. You now know that JavaScript is case sensitive. You now know that JavaScript, for the most part, ends with semicolons. And you now know how to comment and uncomment JavaScript. Oh, and also you now know that JavaScript runs in a linear fashion. So that's it for our introduction. More to come in the next video. See ya. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe. Also, check out the links below. And if you'd like me to cover something else, please leave a comment down below.